Welcome to another episode of Psychic Couple Psychic Readings 2016 Psychic Predictions. This is part 3. I'm Chuck Bazzaio.
I'm Jen Bazzaio.
And our website is www.psychiccouple.com. It's Psychic Couple, all one word, .com. PsychicCouple.com. And like I said, this is part 3.
The original Psychic Couple.
The original Psychic Couple. And this is part 3. And we have a new improved website out there. Check it out. It's updated. It's nice. It looks good. It's convenient. It's easy. It's user-friendly.
He's tooting his own horn. No,
yes.
It looks awesome.
I create the websites, and I'm the webmaster on all of our websites.
Oh, you are the webmaster.
I am the master.
You just keep telling yourself that.
Well, you know what they say. I'm the better half of the Psychic Couple.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, well, I want to make a special announcement. For the very first time, the Psychic Couple is issuing the Psychic Prediction of the Year. And this year, the Psychic Prediction of the Year for 2015 goes to an individual that in December 2014 predicted the terrorist attacks in Paris. You can go to our website at psychiccouple.com. You can see when it was posted. You can see when we discussed it. Congratulations, Jennifer, for the 2015 Psychic Prediction of the Year. You made that prediction. You won the top award. And now, from now on...
Yeah, but that sucks.
It was a negative...
It's horrible.
It's a negative prediction, but you were right on. You were right on with your prediction.
I don't like being right on with stuff like
with
that.
With negative predictions.
I don't like to do negativity.
But, yes, I know. It is a bittersweet award, but the truth is you had a vision. You saw something coming. And human beings and the human consciousness has the ability to change and alter the direction in which we are going at any given time. And the sad truth is, you saw the Paris attacks coming, and they happened. You also saw the terrorist attacks on the West Coast, but I gave you the Paris attack as the top award because it was more significant news worldwide. But you also...
More devastating.
You, not me, you also predicted the San Bernardino, California, Christmas attacks of 2015. So, I mean, you really were right on in 2015. But here we are with 2016.
Well, let's hope 2016 is going to be a better year.
I'm getting my mojo ready. I want to win this award for this year.
It ain't going to happen.
Oh, no. Oh, are you making a prediction? Are you making a prediction?
Right now, I do predict it ain't going to happen.
Okay, well, next year, the fans get to choose.
For 2016?
Yes, the fans are going to choose which prediction was right on and which prediction was the most important that the Psychic Couple made. And another thing that we're doing on our website now, two things. One of them is we want to hear from the people. What are your predictions? What do you see for the future? What are the signs that keep popping up in your life? What is the universe and the Creator telling you? We want to discuss these things with you because together we're united. Divided, we are going to fall. So we give you what we see. How about you giving us what you see? we would welcome that opportunity to discuss other people's psychic predictions and what's going to happen in 2016.
Just remember, ladies and gents, we don't do death predictions.
Yes, no, we don't. We do not.
We try not to.
I believe that's an invasion of privacy. A death is as special and as unique and as personal as a birth, and that belongs to the individual, not to the collective.
Yeah, we
mind.
don't. We won't give details. You know, we'll say somebody's going to be gravely ill, but that's going to be the extent of it.
Okay, so there are recently some mystery booms that have been happening worldwide. They've been being heard worldwide in the past few years. Some people have a lot of theories out there. One of the theories is that these booms are something happening with the Earth's crust or the inner core of the Earth. What do you think? And will this have any effect on us in 2016?
No, they won't have any effect on us, and no, they don't have anything to do with part of the inner Earth or the Earth's crust. They're atmospheric anomalies, and it's basically a collision, which is what they are going to find out later this year with weather balloons.
Now, if you don't hear me chiming in on what Jennifer has to say, I 100% agree. Like any couple in the universe, any two people, we're not going to agree on everything. My vision of the future is slightly different than my wife's vision of the future, but I would say anywhere between 90 to 99% of the time we agree on everything. Okay. Another thing.
When it comes to the predictions, at least.
Yeah, when it comes to the predictions. Sinkholes are in the news worldwide with no explanation. Some people believe it's because of the warming of the earth. Some people believe it's methane gas explosions to the surface. What do you see these sinkholes as being? And will it have any effect on the global community in 2016?
Well, it all depends on where the sinkholes are showing up. Some are weather erosion. Some are collapsing caves. Some are methane. So, depending on where it is and the time of the year it is, all depends on that specific sinkhole.
So you would agree that climate change is affecting the increased number in sinkholes around the world?
It very well could be in some of them.
Yes. Okay. Russia.
But one thing I do need to add is that where there's any sinkhole, it does mean that there is a cavern or an empty cavity underneath it.
Yeah.
And what's happening with a lot of these is that the tectonic plates, the fault lines are shifting. And when these fault lines shift, they cause breaks in the crust that's covering these sinkholes, which makes them more apt to collapse.
Methane gas. Not in 2016. The frozen methane in the northern and southern poles is something that
well, it's definitely going to contribute to global warming.
It's something that we really need to be.
But it's nothing that the planet hasn't been through before.
Yeah, but humans haven't been through it.
Well, humans will adapt, like we always do.
But unless we come up with some way of being able to utilize all of that frozen energy, and so that it doesn't affect humanity and the planet, it would be a good resource to tap.
Well, yeah, since it's everywhere and it's easily produced.
And something needs to be done about it, as the planet is
All we have to
warming
do
up.
is attach a plastic bag to your butt and we're set for life.
Long term, my long-term prediction for methane gas is that yes, it's going to have effects on global climate change and the human population.
It will in some extent, but I do believe that somebody's going to eventually learn how to harness it because it is so highly volatile and explosive. What's going to happen is going to be like gasoline in a car. It's going to be used, the explosion from the methane is going to be used to turn a turbine in order to create electricity.
Oh yeah, eventually there's going to be, but before we get to that point, there's going to be some effects of this frozen methane thawing.
Well, we have been having effects of methane for years.
Increasingly. That's what I'm trying to get.
Sinking.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get at, is increasing results because of the frozen methane issue. Okay, now we got to talk about one of your least favorite things. International, global wars, Russia. Russia is now involved in Syria. They are backing the rebels in Ukraine, and they have been really butting heads with the foreign affairs of the United States policies lately.
Russia is going to remain a sleeping giant. They are going to remain in the background, funding and fueling the various different factions and wars.
And creating proxy wars.
Over there, yeah.
Like, we're really, the United States is fighting Russia.
Russia will never come out and attack. We will never come out and attack Russia. There's always going to be a middleman.
A proxy war, yeah. I totally agree. And that's going to be the same thing for 2016. Don't worry about Russia and the United States going to war. There's always going to be, Russia's going to back one side of a conflict. The United States is going to back another conflict of another faction in that conflict. And there'll be proxy wars. Little mini proxy wars around the world. But an all-out war against the United States and Russia in 2016, not happening. The same thing with the international tensions with North Korea and China. Yeah, it will be increased tensions.
Eventually, something's got to give, though. This is.
I see in the long run that it's going to be China that gets North Korea under control, but there's going to be more. What do they call, saber rattling of the North Koreans and the missiles, and the South Koreans worrying about it, and Japan worrying about it, and China not doing anything about it. But in the background, China is doing what as much as it possibly can, because they do not want the world focused on that region. They want to be the dominant power, and they do not want the United States and NATO back in the Pacific region. And they will eventually get North Korea under control. But until then, there's going to be a lot of, you'll be hearing reports of them launching missiles and testing nuclear weapons all throughout 2016. Going on, Obama said, and has repeatedly said, no troops to return to Iraq. There will be no boots on the ground in Syria. Do you believe that he will continue to follow through on that policy of no troops in Iraq, no troops in Syria to fight the ISIS battle?
I don't believe that there will be large troops going out. I don't believe it'll be large factions. I believe it'll be a handful here, a handful there. Mostly in secretive, mostly in infiltration.
Like Black Ops type.
Yeah, nothing on the massive scale.
So limited.
Yeah.
So he's going to go back on his promise of none. and there will be limited troops. I agree with
Well,
that.
there is never no such thing as none. There are always those that are off the books and undercover that...
Now, what about the next president of the United States? We do have a presidential election coming up in 2016, this November. Do you think the next president is going to go through with that? No new troops in the Syrian conflict. No new troops in Iraq to fight ISIS.
Yeah, I don't think any of the presidential candidates would turn around and cross that.
And put troops on the ground.
Not in big mass
and
numbers,
get
no.
back into an Iraq-Afghan decade-long, trillions of dollars in debt philosophy. I totally agree. Not even the next president. Okay. Some of the best-selling books and movies recently, in 2015, have been about religion, like Moses, or the spiritual and the afterlife, about the little boy with the reincarnation. 2016, they already have several movies that will be coming out throughout 2016, several new books that will be released. Are we going to see a continuing success of these types of religious
definitely. We're
and
going
spiritual?
through a revitalization of the Christian and Catholic faith, because one of the main things with the propaganda is ISIS, 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 jihad, Muslim, Muslim, Muslim. So what's happening now is they're pumping Catholicism and Christian beliefs out there as well to kind of counteract all the attention that the Muslim and jihadists are getting.
If you want to, and I know that the critics debate the factual interpretations of some of these religious movies. And everybody throughout time has debated the text of the Bible or the Quran or the Torah.
Based in every story in the Bible, but
it's bringing a light. It's bringing attention to their top sellers.
It's all due to interpretation.
Yes, and these movies and these books are
all due
renewing
to interpretation on the person that's making the movie or the story.
Yeah, and it's renewing the interest.
There are a lot of holes, and then there's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, maybes.
And I think that this is a good thing that the publishers and the producers are doing, because
I think it's a good thing that our science is starting to back up a lot of the things. I think it's a good thing that people have more of a knowledge of what was. So between the science backing it up, the knowledge of what was through the excavation and the archaeology, I do believe that these stories are only getting bigger and better because now it's been a proven fact.
Yeah, they're becoming concrete. There's multiple sources of these stories from multiple regions and multiple eras.
And not only that, it's from multiple religions, and they're finding these new Gospels, and well, not new Gospels, but old Gospels, older than Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that are actually listed in the Bible, which correlate to some of these stories. So, with all of the new archaeological finds and the knowledge that we're gaining from these things, is opening up a lot of new paths to be explored and possibilities.
Besides discussing politics, besides discussing issues regarding the environment, one of my most favorite issues to discuss and prophesize on topics are medical advancements. 2016 is going to blow people's minds with the medical advancements. And if you think 2016 is going to be good, wait till you see 2017, 2018. This is the century of medical advancements in human biology. Cancer is going to all but be completely eradicated.
Well, what's fueling all of this is these new superbugs. It's put everybody into high gear to try to find a cure for these diseases, especially the superbugs that are killing people now. So they're coming up with these ideas, and they're finding out that the ideas that they have, they're actually creating cures for things that we've been fighting for years.
In their attempts to fight off these superbugs.
Yeah.
They're coming across. I do like these new personalized genetic manipulation, use your own immune system type therapies that they are using to combat many of the common diseases that humans...
the human immune system is there for a purpose. It's there to eradicate viruses and disease, and that's how, through evolution, how our immune systems became so good. But at the same time, when you keep inoculating and you keep putting antibiotics and stuff into the water and into the food, people's immune systems aren't what they could be or aren't what they should be.
I agree.
So, with the elimination of a lot of the stuff that's been in the water and in our foods, and with these superbug problems.
Oh, don't speak about water. I've just been watching a whole bunch of stuff about Flint, Michigan, and the catastrophes that are happening there. They're going to end up finding out that is actually worse and was more dangerous than even was originally thought, and that it is much larger than they originally thought.
Getting off topic.
Well, you mentioned water, and it got me onto the infrastructure and the human cost of what is occurring with our failing infrastructure. Sorry, I did get off topic, but I did and didn't, because this is regarding public health, and we were talking about medical advancements.
Michigan is just tragic. It never should have happened, and the powers that be knew what was going on, and they chose to do nothing because it wasn't what's best for business.
And unlike what happened with the Wall Street crooks, there is going to be a price to pay for some of these political leaders that ignored the data and continued to allow poison into the population. So, getting back on track and moving on, Syrian refugees. All I can say about the Syrian refugees is all this fear propaganda about these women and children and families coming into our country is nothing but fear propaganda. They are so vetted and would have to go through so many processes. And even if an ISIS member wanted and infiltrated those refugee camps and was deported out to another country, you never know what country you're going to end up in. And this ISIS member could say, I'm going to go to these refugee camps, and I'm going to go to the United States, and I'm going to wreak havoc. And guess where they end up? In Iceland. Okay, so it makes absolutely no sense that there is going to be issues with these Syrian refugees. America has always been the home of the free, the brave, and the backbone of our country is immigration. We never turn our back on people in need, and these people are in desperate need.
Well, I mean, look at the Statue of Liberty and this saying that she has, bring me your tired and your poor and your...
Mm-hmm. And I do believe that more and more Syrian refugees come into this country, the more and more that there is no problems with these Syrian refugees, that there will be no problems in other countries around the globe, that this whole fear belief system regarding these Syrian refugees will disappear. ISIS. ISIS is getting big. ISIS is getting a lot of control and power. And I predict that in 2016, you're going to not you, but we as a nation, as a global community, are going to find out that many of the countries that we believed were on our side, like Egypt and Iraq, and now Iran, that's iffy.
There
Afghanistan,
is no our side over there.
Pakistan.
It's all me, 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 me.
Yeah, they're taking our money and they're funneling it back into ISIS, and there's going to be a huge revelation come this fall that will blow up this issue of us funding these foreign governments, and that money in return is being funneled into ISIS and
being used against us.
Yes. And once we discontinue, and that won't be until 2017, funding a lot of these double agent countries.
ISIS is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
It's not going away.
It's going to fall.
Eventually.
Because it's
not in
based
2016.
on a military coup. It's not based on anything solid. And like I always said, you have to build your foundation first. And they are just not organized enough. I mean, there's some kind of organization to their disorganization, but it's not going to last.
And it's a radical belief in the Muslim faith.
Not all Muslim.
No, I know, but the ISIS backing is of a radical belief.
They're a jihadist group.
Yes.
Which believe that they are fighting a holy war.
Yes.
And there's nothing holy about it.
No, there isn't. New technology. Technology, I think, in 2016 is going to be a little static, or stagnant. That's the word. It's not going to be.
There will be
that
they will
impressive.
Make some improvements, some strides, but for the most part, it's not going to go very far this year from what we already have. Believe me, your iPhone 6 will not be outdated by 2017.
Now, someone here has mentioned that there will be new forms of technology that will be used to track terrorists. I agree with that.
There will be new forms of technology used to track many things. I mean, just recently we started using satellites. So yes, like I said, there will be some new strides in technology, but not any
recently in the Republican debate, Donald Trump, the front runner, argued with Jeb Bush, who now has jumped out of the president, or has left running for the president of the United States. But during that debate, a very interesting thing occurred. The topic of the World Trade Center and September 11th, and the reason why we went into Iraq was brought back up. Has not been mentioned in a very long time, but he continuously called George W. Bush and his administration liars, and the claim that he kept us safe from terrorists when we had the worst terrorist attacks on the United States ever has come up. I believe that this topic of September 11th, the World Trade Centers, the terrorist attacks, that will not be the last time we actually hear this in the Republican or in the presidential campaign this year. I believe that will become, it will spark up again in the summer of 2016.
Well, Well, there are a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding September 11th.
But I believe in the summer, not only will there be discussions and bickering about it, but something new, something concrete that is going to spark the conversation in the interest in the American public regarding the Iraq War, why we went into the Iraq War, what happened at September 11th in the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and the plane that went down. And that will be sometime this summer. Okay, next one is, and it's nice to actually not hear you make a negative statement when I go to another one of my favorite topics, and that's the Pope. We're no longer with Pope Benedict. We're now with Pope.
That name.
We do have Pope Francis. He came to the United States in 2015. He's been back to the Western world and just recently visited Cuba and visited Mexico. And he actually even got into a little bit of a political debate with Donald Trump, which caused controversy in the United States, but the rest of the world and the religions just really did not care about the comment. But it did saber rattle the political world here in the United States.
That's only because we're in a political
cycle.
year.
Yeah, an election cycle for the president. Pope Francis. Anything controversial this year? Any earth-shattering?
No, he's going to continue his peace talks. He's going to continue his trips. He's going to get ill and be ill for quite some time, about 5 or 6 months. But he will recover due to his traveling. He's going to wear himself out too thin.
He is traveling a lot. And he is the people's pope. People love him so much. Recently, somebody grabbed him and he shouted at them in Spanish, "Don't be so greedy." His anger towards the greed in the world is going to shine a little more this year. And when he does fall ill, the Vatican is going to be really very protective of where he's going and when he's going. I mean, just recently he went to a hostile nation in Africa where the region is controlled by armed militia against the government. And he walked among the people. Those types of things I don't think is going to be happening that much in 2016. And I don't think he's going to be making any radical announcements.
No, but like I said, I think that this year is going to be focused on his health.
Yeah. I do believe that he's going to continue on with the discussion that God loves us all. Even those who are not Catholic, like the Jews and the Muslims and everybody around the world. Even those who have been divorced.
Well, the whole
even
point
those
of this
who are homosexual.
You are here for a reason.
Yes, epic fail of our cat right here trying to jump up on my desk as I'm trying to read and discuss some of these things.
Well, she saw your folder open and she thought it was on the table.
She did, and she fell. Okay, so now that nice little interruption while we have this...
She took a freaking nosedive.
This second of a break. This is Psychic Couple. Psychic predictions for 2016. We apologize for being a little late. And you could always go to our website.
Wait, this is our third...
Yeah, and we are now in March, I know. But we've had a lot on our plate and a lot we're dealing with. And I predicted it. Positive outcomes based on drastic changes that are occurring in our life. You want my prediction? That's my prediction. Okay, so you could always go to the Psychic Couple's website at psychiccouple.com. That's psychiccouple, all one word.com. We do personal readings, phone
Yes,
readings,
by phone,
chat readings.
chat rooms.
Very, 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 very affordable. 30 minutes, $30. We accept PayPal. We accept Apple Pay. You can pay through Facebook. You can pay through Bank of America. Contact us. Tell us what type of reading you want, and we will schedule you with a reading, either with you or I, and a little extra cost if they want both of us. But they could always have a private reading if they want. And continuing on with our psychic readings. Earthquakes.
Predictions, you mean?
Or psychic predictions. What did I say? Psychic
readings.
So, no. Psychic readings is when we get on a radio show and we answer individuals.
We talk to people.
Yes. And we're planning on doing a couple of those. We have been a little bit absent in that for the last couple of years, but we are going to be doing more radio shows and more psychic chats in the near future. But earthquakes, I think we did talk about this at another point in part one or part two. But I do want to ask you if you believe that the sun will be having any effect on these earthquakes. And based on the activity of the sun, will it increase the amount of earthquakes?
No. The sun and earthquakes there's no correlation at all.
Okay, now what about an X-flare? There's been some near misses recently.
No, we're not going to have any flares literally hit Earth. Our atmosphere will be able to defer it. We will get some pretty good aurora borealis lights because of the electromagnetic energy coming off the sun. There will be a couple of good flares, but we're going to see more sunspots this year than we have in a few years.
Yes, an active sun. Now, what about comets?
Comets, not so much. There might be one, but the focus this year is going to be asteroids.
Yeah, focus on
larger asteroids that are going to be coming close.
Any space anomalies that are going to pop up?
Yeah, there will be one that'll be able to be seen by the naked eye, and it's going to be a supernova that's going to appear for several days and then disappear. Something that exploded way out into the way out. But we will be able to see it.
Whenabouts do you believe that you'll be seeing that? I'm getting colder weather, and we're now warming.
Late summer, early fall.
Yeah, I'm seeing cooler weather. I would have to say, not so much late summer, but fall. Okay. On to the next one here. Okay. Will there be a definitive link between the programming of television and video games that are causing the mass killings of children by children this year?
No.
Do you think eventually there will be a link where they're becoming desensitized to killing of another human being by seeing it?
No.
No. I kind of disagree. I don't think it'll be 2016, but eventually there will be a psychological link of deprogramming in children.
I don't think it's a deprogramming, some more it is a programming into not doing this, seeing the inhumanity on some of these games and the destruction on these games is going to cause a reverse effect.
Racial tension.
That's going to be a never-ending game.
I really, really thought growing up because I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s and became an adult in the 90s, that we were moving in the right direction. Then we elected the first African American president, and I'm like, case closed. But in the last 8 years since electing an African American president, the racial tension has increased exponentially. And I don't, like you said, believe that that is going away. It is something that needs to be dealt with, but I don't believe the answers are going to come in 2016.
No. There's too much tension. If it's not between the blacks and the whites, it's between the Chinese, or it's between the Japanese and the whites. It's between the Iranians and the whites. It's where not only races but religions clash, and people are making judgment on people just by the way they look. So it's not going to go away anytime soon, and the religious factions are going to see to this.
Is this the year that NASA will finally admit to alien life, whether it be microbes or alien structures on the moon or Mars or asteroids? Is 2016 going to be the year that they come out and finally admit that alien life, what in any form, whether it be microbes or...
E.T. could be standing right here in front of you in your face and the government would deny it.
Yeah, I agree. It is a slow, very slow process. And which is shocking is
if you want to say that they've already admitted to it, they have already admitted to it. The fact that microbes and asteroids and meteors that have hit the planet or fossilized something or other, yeah, they have.
No, they have not come out and admitted that
But it's not the government.
Could have contaminated.
It's not the government, though, that's doing it. It's other people.
The researchers and scientists that are looking at the data.
The government will not admit to it. Will not confess.
There is a lot of talk about Benjamin Franklin's and Thomas Edison's talking box, in which you can communicate with the other side. Over the last 10 years, people have been playing around and tinkering with the different frequencies. And the technology is getting better and better and better and better. Do you believe in 2016 is going to be the year that proof that life exists beyond death by these talking boxes, by being able to communicate verbally with deceased ones?
That's hard to say, because anybody that has had a loved one die know that they've continued on. Anyone that has been so close or loved someone so much know that there is something after death.
But will the technology be able to prove this in 2016?
The technology will be able to do the communication, but they will not be able to prove it. They will not say, definitely, this is exactly what's happening and what's going on.
I think that the scientists...
Again, it's government and cover-ups and...
Yeah, I agree. But I do believe that the technology is getting to the point where some very powerful people are becoming interested in this technology and what is actually occurring and happening here. And this is going to be happening in the background. But they won't come out publicly and say it definitively. But more research is going to be being and occurring in the background on this.
There's already an abundance of research being done. And because of humanity and them being on the verge of an awakening and an understanding, there will be more and more and more monies invested in this kind of thing. But the government will never say, oh yeah, let's call up grandma who's been dead for 50 years. No, the government will never, ever say something like that. Whether it's aliens, whether it's ghosts, whether it's life after death, poltergeists, or anything of the supernatural or paranormal.
Okay, just answer these yes or no. It's celebrity divorces. Blake Shelton.
No.
Miranda.
Yes.
Reba McEntire.
No.
Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Halle Berry.
Yes.
And Oliver Martinez.
No.
Isn't that interesting? I agree 100% on every single thing. Gwen Stefani.
No.
I agree with that one too. A scandal with the royals involving Prince Charles, Prince Henry, Prince William, and Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yes. And you know what it is?
Everybody loves a good scandal.
More evidence will point to the murder of Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed in Paris.
I would agree.
Yeah, I totally agree on that too. These are all redundant pages of things that we've already talked about. We'll go on to the next one. Scotland, will it begin to have further quarrels with Great Britain?
Yes.
Mexico will have the first female, have their first female president.
No.
And I will discuss the next following issues myself regarding terrorism. Okay, according to predictions, countries such as Berlin, Paris, London, and Rome, and those are not countries, those are cities, and Rome will witness terrorist waves widely. Not Paris, not London, definitely Berlin, definitely Rome, and terrorism threats worldwide. There's going to be terrorism threats all over the place. Diplomatic predictions. Russia and China will make a closer cooperation with both economy and military, definitely. Their general goals is the direction of thriving of the two countries. The reason for this is due to the important role of the integrity of their economies, and I totally agree with that. 2000, communist coalition to keep their economies going. The economy, 2016, India was predicted to become an extremely wealthy company with fast economy and probably surpassing China. I disagree with that. For Mexico, the economy of the country will get the recovery from will recover from the captures of gangs and bands. They will crack down on the gangs and the bands of thugs. The economy will slightly improve because of that, but it won't have a massive recovery. Thousands of people will flee Japan after a series of violent earthquakes destroying the northern region. I agree. There will be an earthquake of magnitude of 9.0 or greater. I agree. Several thousand people will die. I agree with that. Not naming anyone in particular. Television. Television will become extremely more popular in 2016 by using laptops, desktops, and tablets. A two-sided screen experience will definitely be enhanced. I just discovered that recently with my Amazon Fire Stick. The fact that I can watch something on a stick and still be doing other things in a split screen, like keeping up with the news and all these other things that may be coming up, and not just have only one function. So a split screen experience with television is definitely. One person predicted ISIS will be defeated. That's a big no.
There will be some factions defeated, but it's not going to get rid of ISIS.
Another person.
You need to pick your battles.
Another person predicted that Hillary Clinton will win in a landslide. I predict that she will win, but it will not be a landslide. North Korea and South Korea unification? Absolutely not.
No.
The cargo embargo, the Cuban embargo will be lifted.
Yes, we're going to open up the borders and have a lot more to do with Cuba.
Yes, but by the end of the year. Not right now, but by the end of the year. 2016, there will certainly be an uncertain economy where the stock markets will go up and down and will fluctuate. Yes, I agree with that.
No, I don't see that happening so much this year since it's an election year. 2017 is going to be a yo-yo, but
2017, I agree too, is going to be up and down. Yeah, I mean, it's going to become the new norm as we enter a decade of economic
highs and lows.
Highs and lows, yes. Gold will
increase in value.
Increase in value. This person says decrease. I say increase. All precious metals. Silver.
Jewels, too.
Jewels, I agree. A full-blown war with between Russia and Ukraine? No.
No.
New facts regarding the moon landing conspiracy? Yes. This year? What do you think?
Yes. I mean, it goes to the same to say with all the other stuff that we've said about the United States and the cover-ups in outer space and travel and you name it.
Okay, massive earthquake in the Himalayas causing a dam to burst.
Not a complete compromise and not that massive. But there will be an earthquake.
Unprecedented rainfall disrupts some of the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro.
Yes.
Yes. Unexpected comet/asteroid is missed by most astronomers observing and coming close to Earth.
Well, like I said, asteroids this year are going to be a concern, and yeah, there's going to be a couple of near misses.
The European Union referendum brought forward and leaves the EU, or leaves the European Union. I'm saying no about that.
No.
A terrorist attempt to assassinate Angela Merkel. International ISIS cell operates from Germany.
ISIS from Germany, yes. What was the first half?
An assassination attempt of a woman named Angela Merkel.
Yes. There's going to be several assassination attempts. Yeah.
A gas attack in an underground station.
What do you mean a gas attack? Somebody's purposely going to gas somebody in...
Yeah, they're going to release some form of...
that's going to be ISIS, and it's going to be a terrorist act, yes.
I totally agree with that, and I see Denmark. I don't know why.
I see subways. New
Yeah,
York subway.
yeah, underground...
New York subway.
Yeah, subway. Okay, well, I'm saying Denmark, and you're saying...
somewhere in New York.
New York. Large fire in a historic Dutch building sees many masterpieces destroyed.
No.
ISIS continues to destroy historic landmarks.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just writing that down. Extensive flooding in the United Kingdom with tidal surges causing extensive damage in southern England.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree too. New refugees wave from Ukraine and Georgia as Russia tightens its grips on dissidents.
Yes.
I agree. Rise of the right-wing politics in Spain, France, and Italy see riots in the streets and mosques burnt.
No.
I say yes. You say no. Okay, now you say no. You're saying...
Maybe in Spain.
Spain?
I don't see much for France or Italy.
Turkey will invade Kurdish areas in Syria.
No.
I say yes. Massive increase in use of drones in Syria. Quell ISIS. Britain put some troops on the ground.
Nothing about the drones, but British putting the troops out, yes.
JB, yes. Drones, no. On the total opposite. We will have an increase in drones, and British will not put troops on the ground. A new form of nanotechnology used to track terrorists.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Commonly used food additives is conclusively proven to cause cancer.
Yes.
Yes. Prince Philip is taken seriously ill and has a major life and death operation.
No.
There is an attempt behind the scenes coup of China as Chinese currency collapses.
There will be a coup, but not over currency.
An alleged naked picture of Kim Jong-un causes political outrage.
Yes.
Donald Trump's bid for the White House is thwarted by illness.
No.
Hillary Clinton's bid is swatted by illness.
No.
British Labour Party splits into two with one section joining the Liberals. British Labour Party makes big gains in Scotland.
True. Or yes.
Yeah. India's economy surges forward. New deals made between United Kingdom and India.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. Major volcano eruption in Hawaii.
Not on the island of Hawaii, but in the Hawaiian Islands.
This is the Psychic Couple. Our website is www.psychiccouple.com.
That's www.psychiccouple.com.
www.psychiccouple.com. We also do
private readings, phone readings, you name it. You just got to get in contact with us through the psychiccouple.com. Check out our new website. It's all done brand new.
And we are now coming to the conclusion of our psychic predictions for 2016.
One thing you didn't mention or that we didn't bring up is there's going to be new stuff about the Dalai Lama in the news.
Oh, that's interesting. I agree. News on the Dalai Lama. And I'm going to add Tibet.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean with the Dalai Lama and Tibet.
So this will be our final segment of our second predictions for 2016. Coming soon will be the Psychic Couple's review of our 2015 predictions. And how well did we get it? Did we do good?
I don't know.
Did we do bad?
What's our report card say?
Well, that's what we're going to do for our next show. Psychic Couple's predictions for 2015 report card. I'm Chuck.
I'm Jen.
We're the Psychic Couple, and you always go to our website at www.psychiccouple.com. Until next time, God bless.
See you later. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. TTFN.
Adios.